Hunters, it's been an interesting week, and I want to cover today all the different things that are mixed up in this market, which are creating huge volatility. One of them today is Trump's $2,000 tariff dividend for a certain level of US citizens. Okay. The other one I want to talk about is tech wobbling. So tech is showing key weakness at the moment. And I've also spotted three ideas which I think are going to be key for next week. One is a financial stock. Another one is a crypto play only if crypto starts picking up some momentum, which it has been doing during this weekend. And the third one is a risk off trade. If the market is risk off, this is where I'll be looking to trade. So without wasting any time, let's go straight into the show and let's go into our quick market snapshot. Right, so the S&P 500 has lost 1.1% last week, and the Nasdaq 1.9%, with the Dow Jones down around 0.8%. So we're seeing, like I mentioned, a bit of sector rotation, with the Dow being a better performer. We've also seen some sector rotations here mentioned in this article, where it says that tech is experiencing a pullback, and it's creating fears of a potential AI bubble. Okay, now where is cash flowing? Where is money flowing? It's flowing into financials, it's flowing into banks, which could be benefiting from high yields. That's the main one. We've also had Trump. Like I mentioned, Trump has an idea of a $2,000 tariff revenue or dividend for US citizens. This is based on income level. So not every US citizen will be eligible to receive the $2,000 dividend, but many US citizens will be able to benefit from that. This is driving up the markets today, especially crypto, because it's similar to the stimulus checks that were given during COVID. And I think that could fuel further market momentum, maybe more risk on attitude by retail traders and everyday folk, basically going into the markets and taking the risk with that $2,000 payout dividend. Let's see how it all turns up and what happens. But I think it's an interesting one. The market's moving a bit too soon. I think it's just something that will probably produce nothing for the market. It won't be that significant. But let's see. And again here we have that article about the US, about Trump giving everybody at least $2,000. Now, if that's at least $2,000, it could be a very, very good thing for the US economy, and maybe even potentially for the markets. I think for the markets, especially risk on markets, it might be quite nice. Right, so the market is torn between sticky inflation, tech slipping and showing weakness. Consumers might soon have an extra $2,000 to spend. All of this is creating opportunity in unexpected areas. And this is why I want to cover quickly what I think the market might do and where I'll be looking to buy during next week and today. Right, so as I mentioned, we saw significant sell-offs actually in large cap and tech. Nvidia here is the chart that I'm looking at. As you can see, significant sell-off here. I actually had a position in Nvidia and sold it off, and it's in that situation where it's come back down now, and it could easily turn into a very, very brutal market, in the sense that it could create a head and shoulder pattern and then reverse down on the market. This coincides with the S&P 500 drawing that I made with my community members. And it's about a week ago now, over a week ago, where I basically said if we do get that overextension and it moves higher, we could end up seeing a dip after the overextension, a consolidation within a range, and then a rug pull around end of November, which coincides with the FOMC minutes on the 19th, as well as Nvidia earnings on that week as well. Okay, so what is causing all of this, all of these issues in the markets? Why is the market losing steam, especially mega cap techs? Why are they losing steams? And why are banking stocks and financial stocks gaining here, especially value stocks, against these mega techs? Well, one of the reasons is the market's collapsing because of repricing, right? So we're seeing a bit of repricing in the leaders. I spoke about this with Irdi in the weekly show where we discussed that PE ratios were unbelievably high for these mega caps, and it's just something that happens in the market. It's a normal move for the market to see a little bit of a correction, and that's exactly what's happened. Smart money is also rotating because of cyclical plays. So not only do we have cyclical plays in finance and banking, we also have cyclical plays in energy stocks and natural gas. Natural gas is a common sense cyclical play because every winter season there is a need for natural gas. So investors and smart money will move into these cyclical plays. At the moment, one of the key themes is the banking and finance sector. And this is why I'm going to share with you guys later on in the video one of my top ideas. The key triggers this week, I think, are yields. So if the yields are up, banks and cyclical strength will kick in. If tech continues to break down lower, which I don't think it will, straight away, I think it might move a little bit higher. And then later on in the week, as you can see here with the drawings that I made, we move up a little bit higher. Then later on this week and early next week, we dip and we consolidate and decide the market next week. There's also the news about Trump's $2,000 essentially stimulus check and cash for consumers to spend. This, of course, will improve and help the US economy. And it is a very, very positive catalyst for the market, especially risk on assets. So that will drive things up higher. I think this week now could be a bullish week, but it's not set in stone. It's just an idea. It's just an idea. And I think the market has a tendency to move too soon. I mean, it's just an idea. It is something that he's thrown out there. They're not collecting as much as people think with these tariffs, especially with him renegotiating them and adjusting the tariffs constantly. There is no clear picture as to how much they're actually making from tariffs, and that's something I probably need to do a bit of research on, maybe for the next video. But that's where I see the situation now. The three ideas that I mentioned earlier, I want to cover them now. The first one is Chime Financial. All right. So the reason why I like this one, not usually my type of play, but the reason why I like it is IPO comes crashing down. IPO'd around $40, now currently around was around $16, around $20 now. And I'm looking at this breakout point here. Maybe we get a little bit of a dip, further consolidation, then a breakout. But this is a key point. I made these drawings earlier with the Discord group that I have. I just explained to them what I would like to see. And look, even if we get this move to the midpoint here, you could call it Fibonacci level, you could call it mean reversion, a reversion back to an average price. Even if we get that move, it's a 1-to-3, 1-to-4 risk reward ratio. And for traders such as myself with a 50 to 60% win rate, depending on the year, I love these trades. You know, a 1-to-2, 1-to-3, 1-to-4. Happy to take them at any point, as long as the strategy is set up, and my strategy says that this is set up for next week, and I think this can move well. And we had similar plays do quite well last week, cyclical plays with PLMR. So I think this one can be a very, very similar setup. It's not as tight as PLMR here, which I liked a lot more. And then we had that breakout, and we achieved a 1 to 3 already, and we have potential for maybe more. But Chime is looking pretty good for that financial play. The second idea that I have is MSTR, micro strategy. The reason why that is crypto is moving on the $2,000 dividend payment from tariffs. And I think it's very, very overextended on the sell side. As you guys can see here, Friday, it ended up being bought up. So it went as low as $220 and closed around $240. That is a 8 to 9% gain within the day after it hit this level. So there is huge potential here, even if we get a little bit of a dip, to buy cheap with this mean reversion, or this move back up to maybe $270, $280, maybe even $300 in my opinion, if Bitcoin and crypto moves up higher. So very, very good idea. A bit of an early buy, not the usual play that I make, but I do like it considering that crypto is now picking up some momentum and looking quite nice. Okay, third idea is Costco, all right? So if the week opens positive for risk on assets and there's some sector rotations into financials, and we can trade Chime, we can trade, in my opinion, we can trade some tech stocks if they're set up. We'll have to see. We can also trade MSTR, like I mentioned, with crypto. If it's risk on, then we're trading those. Now, if it's risk off, and at any point in the next few weeks, if there is a risk off environment where we start seeing that sell off in Nvidia, that sell off in the S&P 500 that I mentioned, that 5 to 8% sell off and correction, then we should be looking at Costco as an opportunity. And I really like the way Costco's setting up here. Don't mind my drawings. It's just an idea of, we've had the head and shoulder pattern, the sell-off, but we've held this level here. And if we break above 930, 935, I'd be looking for a trade on the long side for, again, a 1 to 3 risk-reward ratio here. So perfect for my swing trading strategy, at least, and a very, very high probability trade if it is a risk-off environment. That's what I'm looking for as a defensive hedge. With, but again, like I said, if we're seeing more risk on assets, we do also have those two other ideas and the sector rotations as well. Right, so that's it from me today. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. What I will say here is go and follow and subscribe on all of my social medias. I will be creating more content and sharing with you guys more ideas, more insights and analysis throughout the week. This is a daily show, so I will be sharing new ideas every day. While everybody is debating Trump's tariffs and tech wobbles, we're already looking for new ideas and sector rotations, and I'm very, very confident that one of these ideas will work out to hit those 1 to 3 levels, maybe multiple of these ideas. Now, I won't be trading all of them. Like I said, I gave you the scenarios, I gave you the structure, and it's looking quite nice. Now, to wrap it up, what I will say is comment below. Let me know what you think of the ideas. Let me know if you have any other ideas that you think will do well in the markets. And also join the Trend Hunters community with the link below in the bio and description. So you can get more alerts, you can get better ideas throughout the day, as well as a deeper market analysis in various markets I cover, which are crypto, stocks, and commodities. Until next time, take care.